Hey, it's Steve with the Migrant Farm Worker Bike Program. I'm here today to answer a question we get often, which is why do we need to provide bikes to migrant farm workers? And probably the best comparison I could make is a young person getting their first minimum wage job somewhere, and the employer is not responsible for providing their transportation to get to work. So that person would, get mom and dad to drive them, ride their bike, or take the bus. So for migrant farm workers that arrive here, are in a similar situation, except they don't have mom and dad, and they're not in areas where they can take a bus. So their employers do not provide bikes, and in fact, they're expected to somehow get those on their own. As you can imagine, with COVID, the price of bikes has skyrocketed, even used bikes. So pretty hard to get a working good bike that's going to last you for your 6 month to 2 year contract on the farm, for 50 or 60 bucks, which is something they still can't really afford. These folks send most of their money back home to their families in Mexico or wherever they're from, and there's very little that they have, and certainly spending hundreds of dollars on a bike is just not an option for them. Um, how far do they travel? It depends on the worker. Some are in warehouses during the fall and winter months, but during the summer they're often expected to be housed in one area and could be 5 kilometers away from the farm that they're expected to be at. And they need to be there at first light, often working till after dark. Some shifts are 12, 14 hours a day. They don't get overtime for this, they get straight time, so they're making minimum wage that whole time. And this is legislated. We can't blame the farm owners per se, because this is what governments around the world have legislated for farm labor. So these folks need transportation. They need it to get groceries, and they need it to get to work. And they need to do it safely. So our goal is to have enough for them to have a good working bike, helmets, and lights, because they're out there in rush hour traffic. Although they're way out in the farms in a lot of cases, they're still being passed by people that live out that way, or are going to the lake early in the morning for fishing or to take their boat out. People often driving really fast out on Neves Road out in Maple Ridge. If you've ever driven that, it's a racetrack, and you'll see the farm workers out there on their bikes, very vulnerable. So our goal is to provide them with safe transportation at no cost, to keep them working hard for our benefit. They're providing fruits and vegetables for us, and that supports our system. So as sad as it is that we can't do more for these folks wage-wise because it is legislated worldwide, we can offer a little bit of help by providing these bikes. Thanks for listening.